Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Corey and Kevin Talk About Nothing. If you're tuning in for the first time,
I'm Corey.
I'm Kevin, and welcome to our podcast talk show.
Hello.
108.
Change it up a little bit.
108.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just crushing it. It's
Yeah.
like the second week of the new year, but I feel like we already put 100 episodes out this year. Wow.
Yeah. Easy work. You know?
Easy. So for this episode, Kevin was a good boy and he watched both movies. Yeah.
Nice. Good. Okay.
So for episode 108, for this episode, we watched The Matrix Resurrections.
Yep.
And then The Unforgivable. Okay.
Yeah.
Notice the question marks. I'm like, it says that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Unforgivable was okay. First off, we don't have to talk about these right away, but I was just utterly shocked at the cast of The Unforgivable. I was like, "Oh, you're in this? Oh, you're in this?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're in this?" I'm like,
that's why I was excited because of that's what
I had no idea.
And then
I honestly I watched
gotcha.
the trailer on Netflix, and I probably didn't even watch all of the trailer. And I was like, But I'll we'll dive into that movie.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
And then The Matrix Resurrections was and so I don't want to be too foretelling, but I mean, like, I enjoyed it. Like, I didn't hate it. I guess I didn't hate it, but
okay.
But we could get into that later. All right,
yeah, for sure.
Before I spill my guts.
You spill me guts. Yeah. But
yeah.
Okay. All right.
So in leading up to these movies, we like to talk about what we've watched over the week, if there's anything new or interesting to talk about, Well, Corey, tell us. You watch anything interesting?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I did not watch a lot of anything. It was a very sports-heavy week this week. I watched a lot of basketball when I could. I watched football. It's playoff season right now, so it's a play-in for this, play-in for that. So it actually is not playoffs yet, but this was like the week, I should say, to where everybody, you got to have 3 people win, 2 people lose, and you win to be able to get that playoff spot, right? So there's a lot of layers to this one. So obviously leading up to football's football, but at the same time, this is a week to where you're watching one game but paying attention to 7 different scores because of the one game. So it's just you're just involved in it a little bit more. So so that was a lot that I watched and paid attention to, on those days. And I got to watch my Cavs. The Cavs are killing it this year.
Oh, that's great to hear.
So and just as some young thing. And all right, I'm just gonna tell you something. This is something I read. I obviously don't tell. I'm not saying this for fact, but something I was very excited for, which I know some people are not going to agree with me. But LeBron made a statement, supposedly. Okay, this is what I read to a reporter that he's sick and tired of LA, and he actually wants to come back to the Cavs to finish out his last couple of seasons. Whoa. Now, listen. So, and what I say by that is
you
because
heard it
LeBron
first
James,
here, folks, on the Corey and Kevin Talk About Nothing podcast talk show.
I'm just saying.
Get him on for an interview.
True. Yes, that'd be sweet.
I'd be like, bro,
I'll tweet
tell me about
Space
Jam.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, tell me how you feel about it. Tell me what happened there. So, but anyways, so with that being said, so and the Cavs are killing it right now. So I mean, they just got Sucks, our great point guard that we got, hurt, and he's probably done for the season. Which sucks. He's done for at least a couple months.
Always a bummer to hear that.
Yeah, but also my favorite player in the entire. So with the Cavs game, Klay Thompson came back. So that was a huge game for me that I physically felt like I had to watch for totality. So I watched. Yeah, so the Cavs are playing, and then the Golden State Warriors. It's a love-hate relationship because the Cavs and Golden State. I'm not saying that by any means, but if I had to pick out my favorite player of right now, it would actually probably be Klay Thompson is like my favorite player. He just made his comeback. He tore his Achilles and his ACL. So he was out he scored his first basket at the beginning of the Cavs game, and I hoop and hollered just like I would if it was Cavs, because after 2 years of nothing from Klay Thompson, he physically came back and actually made his first layup, and it was just
good for you, man.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. So in my heart, cool. I felt, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was cool. The Cavs lost, but it was still good to see. The whole point of it. Right. So I mean, whatever. So
the Cavs lost, but still, at least there was a really nice moment that everybody can enjoy. It's like that comeback story of a movie.
Exactly. Absolutely. 100%. So even if you don't like
who booed Rudy, right, when he entered the field? Come on.
Nobody.
Somebody getting drop kicked.
Yeah, exactly.
Murphy's.
If you better be running for your life at the same time.
Yeah, right. Rudy sucks.
Yeah.
You're already hopping the fence when you're yelling it.
Yeah. It's actually on a microphone that you're just speaking through.
Yeah. You're actually in a hotel room in a window and you're just shouting it.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
But yeah. So other than that, though, I mean, I didn't watch a bunch of stuff besides so also my guilty pleasure right now. I got The Office back on my life.
Oh, okay, yep.
So I watched a lot of that too. So I mean, that's just being honest with it. So
no, that's
I watched
awesome, yeah.
quite a bit. I had 5 seasons. So I mean, I fell asleep in a couple of things, which I played quite a bit of episodes, but. Just to tell you how much Office that I've rewatched, I finished today the last episode of season 5 that I got for free.
Oh, wow. There you go.
So, like I said, I fell asleep a couple days with it on, but I think last time we talked on this podcast about it, that's the day I got it. So it's been 2 weeks. No, a week. And I've watched 5 seasons of The Office.
That's just impressive.
Just being... Yeah. So, but like I said, I mean, I fell asleep. Sometimes it's just on while I'm doing other things. I'm not saying that I physically sat down, but I went through 5 seasons of The Office. Some seasons had 20 some episodes. So I'm just saying, quite a bit.
It's funny. There was a moment because we had done the same thing. We had restarted it. We haven't gotten that far into it, but it was really funny because there's a cringy moment that I don't think anybody ever blogs about. There's top 10 cringiest moments. I don't think I've ever seen this one, and I completely forgot. It's in season 1, so it's early on, and I think it was episode 8 maybe. But Jim is convincing Dwight to be some covert operative or whatever. You remember when he hides in the box and he tapes them shut and pokes holes?
Oh, yeah.
And Jim and Pam are giggling and being, a little touchy. And Roy walks in. He's like, "What the hell, Halpert? Go get your own girl or whatever." It's always it was a really cringe moment. I'm like. I know the moment's coming up. I'm like, Jim, this isn't.
No, what are you doing?
What are you doing, man?
No. Is that the one where he picks her up?
No, when he picks her up, that's the one when they go. Michael and Dwight are supposed to fight in the dojo because Michael's way stronger than Dwight.
Yes. Yeah, because Dwight cheap shotted him, hit him twice.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
right. Yeah, for sure. I remember.
Yeah, that one, Pam gets mad at Jim because he takes it too far.
That's right. That was Pam. That's yeah.
But I wanted to bring this up. So I believe on the last podcast, I had spoken about the TV show You, and I was kind of disappointed in where it was going. Yeah. Scratch all of that, dude.
Really?
It was so funny. So Jessica and I were Clem went down for a nap, and we're let's just throw something on. And we were kind of just cycling through stuff. How sometimes you just don't know what you want to watch, so you just continuously research. That's the worst part about having so much content is you're what do we watch? So
you don't know what, exactly. Yeah.
So we're completionists. We gotta we gotta only 4 more episodes left of You left of season 3. Screw it, let's finish it. And then we start the episode. I'm like, oh wait, you didn't see the last 20 minutes of the previous episode. She's like, I'm pretty caught up. I'm like, that's bullshit, man. I had to sit through that, and you're not gonna sit through that. But then I was like, wait, I'm not gonna sit through that twice. So then we start playing it, and then that like literally like all right, so there's 10 episodes, so 10, 9, so like they literally like this the fifth, sixth episode. I would say the fourth or fifth episode, it was like starting to get into like a repetitive. Like okay, I don't really see, I don't even see an ending to this because like I don't even understand where we're going. And like episode 6, it flips the script, like does like this perfect launch into what you know is building to be this finale, and it was incredible. We finished it. We finished the last 4 episodes, and Jessica and I were like, oh man, like who knew we would get sucked right back in and hooked? Like
really,
it was so good. It was so well done, and You has like a really good. So do you know anything about You?
Well, yes. Well, you told me about a little bit of it.
Yeah, he's like a
it's
stalker.
like you as yourself.
And,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He gets
yeah.
the sick part is he gets into a relationship with the stalker because he manufactures these moments to run into them and build these relationships. And he already knows all these things about them, so he's like the perfect boyfriend because he's snuck into their house and read all their journals, and like he's a creep, man. He's a creep. But
wow.
It's his inner monologue that like shows you like this internal way of like this is what he thinks he's doing it for. He thinks he's doing everything out of love, and it's so warped, right? It's really warped. Yeah. Anyways,
sounds like it.
His wife in this season is like more warped, and it gets freaking crazy. And I had told Jessica, I was like, something like is gonna have to happen, and I was like so excited because I was right, like this thing had to happen, but I was like so happy because of how they did everything. Was like this perfect execution. I loved it. And
really?
So tell if the listeners out there, if the viewers out there are watching this TV show, and you're running into that mid-season 3 and you're like, dude, I don't know what's going on, just pull through because this sucker wraps up and is insane. I'm like, all right, and then You has a really good way. This is what I was trying to get at before like I can't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
It has a really great way of, you love the like secondary characters, the background characters, the gosh, I can't even think of the names, but of like what you would call them, your co-workers, not your main headliners, like not the 2 main people of the show, but like all the other the secondary, the rest of the cast, and they just have a way of making these people like at the end we're like we were like sad and cheering for like the not the main characters, because the main characters are just freaking awful. So but it's funny because halfway through the show, the season 3, you're like, I like when it's Joe, because like it's this planned out methodical thing. You get into his head of how he's thinking and all this stuff. So with his wife in the mix, man, it's chaos, and so it's just like you don't really know where it's going, and then you know where it's going. It was great.
Oh God! Okay.
And they pull in like real world things, like they have the pandemic going on at this time. They have like all these things that kind of like mimic the real world, which kind of just help make it more of like this real thing, which is frightening, but incredible. I was just very happy. I was like, you know what? You took what I thought could have been a really soured season 3, and then are we gonna make it to season 4? But no, you did it. You did it, and not in that typical cliffhanger BS kind of way either. Like you get a finish, and then like at the end of that finish begins like this other next chapter, or however you would like to put it. But anyways, it's great. I really enjoyed it. So
I'll have to think about. I just think about giving it a shot.
Yeah,
I gotta finish my other shows.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're 10 episode long, hour-long episodes, and Yeah. It's I keep an open mind because I mean like it's wild.
So like that's what I think is what turned me away from it is like not that I'm not trying to be a quote unquote like not having an open mind, I guess, having a closed mind when it comes to that. But sometimes it's hard to sit back and see some of this stuff and not want to have your natural reaction of what's going on in the show to where like I'm not saying I wouldn't like that, but if some creepy person was doing the same thing to me, I would be like, that's creepy. Yeah, I'm just watching somebody's methodical life of doing it. So it just throws me off a little bit.
I almost equate it to like it's almost like a dark comedy mixed in with psychological thriller, mixed in with drama, mixed in with more comedy. Like his inner monologue is some of the funniest shit I have ever heard because you are hearing this guy who's awful. But like you hear his motivation and you're like, he's not awful, and he does really nice things at times, so he's not completely awful, but he just does all this crap in the name of love, and he is like looks beyond the awful things he's done because he's done it for love, it's wild. But the inner monologue of listening to him sort his shit out and rationalize all this crazy stuff, it's just like
that's funny. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, that's it is. It makes me laugh. Like I am constantly laughing because this, like, what are you doing, dude? You're crazy.
Yeah. All right. See, but I think I will go into the show with better thoughts in my head due to that though too.
I will.
So yeah, just you saying that just makes me. I'm like, all right, because at first I'm like, I really don't know about this show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of other content that I can watch. That was my mindset. So like something that I'm not saying it doesn't interest me, but if it makes me laugh and brings in that kind of, because I like my dark comedy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I enjoy those things, but it doesn't. To me, it almost doesn't like when you watch a preview. It doesn't say this is a great, crazy, dark comedy. This is a
it's like a psychological thriller.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so like
it totally is.
Well, yeah,
but it is. It's almost like, have you ever watched? You've watched American Psycho, right? With
yes, yeah.
So it's very similar to that. When Patrick, what's his? Oh man, Patrick Bateman. I was like, I knew I was gonna get this. I mean, he's up there. He's right there. Top shelf next to the monster. And
so at least you know where he's at.
Yeah. So Patrick Bateman, when he's putting on, all right, so he like puts this music on, and he's turning it up as loud as possible, and he's putting on this clear raincoat, newspapers all around, and he's like telling you these historic facts about this band while dancing to it and moving around with an axe, and then he's just like, is murdering Jared Leto's character, and it's like, that is insane, and I laugh because it's like so insane you have to laugh. Like what else are you gonna do, right? So
exactly. Well, yeah,
that's how I would equate it.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I had to look up American Psycho, so I had to pull it up to kind of see the face. But as soon as you you were talking about it, I'm like, okay, that's it. Like that's
Christian Bale, that psychopath.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Oh man, so I had rewatched Don't Look Up again. I've watched it twice now.
You did rewatch it?
Yeah, I did watch it, and I actually. Like, the second time I watched it, I actually just wound up loving the movie even more. I'm like, oh boy, it's like an anxiety-inducing movie. And
well, that tell you about the reaction that my coworker had at all?
No.
Okay, so all right, so this made me so happy because he walks up to me, he goes, "Don't Look Up," and I'm like, "Did you watch it?" Like that was like, so it was like this funny moment right at the very beginning. So he's like, "Yes, come over here." So we go over to like the front of the store, just because if anybody else wants to watch, they're trying to read.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We do this a lot for like a lot of things, just in case. So he like pulls me over, and he's like, "How about the anxiety in this movie?" And I've laughed hysterically from the very beginning. That's the first thing he says to me, and then we laughed and we joked, and We talked about it up and down. He's in the same steps that we were. Loved the movie because he goes, because I'm like, you know what's crazy? Because we were talking about like Rotten Tomato scores and stuff like that. He never really looked into it until we started talking about it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then so now he's been paying attention to it more. You know what I mean? He'll just to see it. So I'm like, did you see what the Rotten Tomatoes? Like, yeah. He's like, I'd give it 99 to 100. It was so funny. Right. Yes, he loved it. He even said, he goes, you know what the crazy part is? He goes, Leo did so well and played the character so well. He goes, I'm not going to lie. He goes, at first I wasn't sure if that was Leo. He goes, just because I was so involved in everything else, it didn't seem like Leo. He goes, it was amazing to me. So, he loved me.
I feel like
99 to 100.
That's incredible. I feel like that's Leo. Like if I think of Inception, I think that's Dom Cobb. That's not Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like, he did his job.
Like I feel like Leo is always doing that to me where like I'm watching the movie and like he is just the character. Like it's not Leo, you know? Like
yeah, for sure.
I feel like I do that all the time. Like I just get lost in his eyes, I guess. No, I'm just kidding.
Kevin.
Oh, sorry. Hey, let me up, bro. But I've been watching you. I know.
Where's he gonna be next?
Yeah, right. But yeah, I just thought like I did watch like a lot of like a few press junkets with you know, Adam McKay, the director, Jennifer Lawrence, Leo, Jonah Hill, who, you know, during some of these interviews had like a fart machine. So like when people were like talking, he would press the fart machine. And Meryl Streep and Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry had said, you know, there were a few times that when they were filming the first time that Jennifer Lawrence and Leo's characters are being interviewed on live air on that television show with Kate Blanchett and Tyler Perry's character. He's like, I actually kind of like forgot we were acting because they were so convincing, and I started to get anxiety as if there was an actual comet coming to Earth, and I'm like, man, that has to be like somewhat insane. Like you get kind of like so in tune and into character, and like all these things are happening. It's like you start actually having like the real emotions of your character. I'm like,
that'd be crazy. Yeah.
Like,
so, but I mean, that would actually drive me insane, and I don't think as an actor I would be able to handle.
Yeah. So
I'm just
like,
being honest with you.
I feel like that's why, like, if you look at Leo's career, he'll have like two movies that come out in like a 1 to 2 year span. And then nothing for 2 years, and then comes back out with like a movie or two in the next 2 years, and it's like, Daniel Day-Lewis does the same thing. I think Daniel Day-Lewis takes like a year to unwind after. Well, he's retired from acting, and that's so silly. We need. I mean, I guess we don't need. We have plenty of great actors, but he's phenomenal, obviously. But but he gets, because Daniel Day-Lewis is like the definition of a method actor, like. He is in character from start to finish, you know, as soon as production starts until even the press is over. Like, that dude is in character. And I can imagine that's pretty demanding on your psyche and who you are. I'm sure. You know, a really good example of that is Robert Downey Jr.'s character in Tropic Thunder is like, you get lost in these roles so much, you literally forget who you are. Like you gotta do some soul searching after a while. But anyways, phenomenal movie. I was just like, I will be rewatching that one again. And
so it's funny because I thought about rewatching it after me and him had that conversation. We talked about it on the podcast. And then me and him had that conversation, and I'm like, I might have to go back and actually rewatch it. I didn't pull the trigger yet because, like I said, I had other intentions this week.
For sure, yeah.
I'm like, you know what I mean? But I'm ready, though. So
I know. It said, like, within the first, like, 2 days or something like that. It's like, it's the most watched thing on Netflix in the world. And
okay.
It was, like, the first, like, opening weekend or something like that was, like, over 150 million hours were watched of just that movie.
Well, that's insane.
I'm like, just that movie, though. It's not a TV series. Just that movie, you know, like that's insane. Crazy.
I'm looking it up again just to see if it's gone up yet.
Oh yeah. So I was just I'm just really impressed.
Going back down to 55.
What's that?
Going back down to 55 instead of 55.
so insane to me, man. Like
No.
that really. I mean, that goes on. Interstellar's like a 76%. Like, come on. People don't know what they're doing out there in the world,
That's true. I mean, I will agree. I will definitely agree. But yeah, I just
I
don't
don't
understand
understand.
it. The funny thing is, everybody I talked to that's actually watched the movie said they liked it. So I'm just saying.
Right.
So.
So, hey, Rotten Tomatoes, if you're looking for two
Yeah.
critics who will
Seriously.
appropriately rate movies, let us know. Because I'll tell you what, your Beckett, your Reminiscence, and your Sweet Girl will not be where they are. And your I Care a Lot would not be up there. And your Those Who Wish Me Dead would not be up there. Anyway, sorry, I'm freaking out right now.
It's okay. It's okay. So I get it.
Yeah.
So
Rotten Tomatoes, hit us up.
Hit us up.
Yeah, we could be two movie reviewers who are honest and like just good movies. Okay, come on.
Yeah.
In other news, so our Sunday was supposed to be an HBO Sunday. The Royal Gemstones are back, baby, and so is Euphoria. So last night we got derailed by you because we had to finish it. So we were only able to watch the first episode of the Royal Gemstones because that was an hour long. And I was like, I don't like watching something I know that makes me laugh when I'm tired because like if I'm going to sit there and it's not, not making me laugh, like I'm just like wasting that time. So right. So like we watched the first episode, which was awesome. It's almost like got this Succession spin to it, where like they're trying to take over Daddy's kingdom, So it was super funny, and we were about to watch the next episode, and it's only 30 minutes long, and I'm like, because the normal episodes of Royal Gemstones are only like 30 to 35 minutes long.
Yeah.
And the first episode the first episode of every season seems to be like 54 or 55. So we made it through the 55 episodes or 55 minutes, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to be too tired, or I'm not gonna remember anything. And so we're waiting for tomorrow to do, because we didn't even watch Euphoria, which I'm sad about. Gotta.
Oh yeah.
We got 2 episodes to watch.
I'll watch it. That's one I watched the first season.
The Royal Gemstones.
Yeah.
This is the third. This is the third season.
Yeah, as I say, so I watched the second. I watched the first 2 seasons. Then I'd have to sit back and think about it. That's one with oh my goodness, Dan from Roseanne.
Come on, you can do this.
Come on, man! I can picture all his characters. Goodman.
Yes.
John Goodman.
Yes, you did it.
Yes.
You did it. Yeah.
Wow, that took too long. Sorry, guys, but yeah, John Goodman.
Sorry, my brain goes tick, and I remembered something else that we had watched. But yeah, John Goodman, Danny McBride, Adam Devine or Divine. I don't know if we've ever established what it was.
Tomato.
Yeah, tomato.
Got it.
That guy, all right, Adam.
Yeah.
And several others. Actually, in this season, oh crap, what's his name? The Eric Andre. Eric Andre is in it.
Oh God!
All right,
no.
so this first episode is like typical. I'm like, this is turning like it's turning out to be the Eric Andre show of like whatever the hell he's doing on stage. It's like making these people in the audience like convulsing and stuff, and it's very funny. And then. So actually, this is a perfect segue because I can never remember her name, and I feel so awful because she is very funny. The first time I saw her, she was actually in a TV show called Wrecked on TBS, and she was very funny on that. And then we saw her on this TV show called Tacoma FD. She was on a few episodes of that, and now she plays the wife to Eric Andre, and they run their own like pastor service and whatnot, and it's like
Is it Alan McKay? Mackay?
I mean, blonde glasses.
Oh, Jessica Lowe.
Okay, yeah, that might be it. I don't remember, but
it's her.
Okay.
It is her.
So Yeah, so she's in it too, and it's very funny. So I'm very excited to see where this season goes, especially because it's got like this little Succession sprinkled in there, like I'm about to take over my daddy's jobs, and then it's like the dad's like, yeah, I'm not retired, I'm not going anywhere. So it's just so funny. But that, and then we had watched, I think, the first 4 or 5 episodes of the 3rd season of Tacoma FD. And have you watched any Tacoma FD yet? Dude, I'm telling you, it's so funny. The characters are perfect. The actors are perfect. It is a really simple show. And it's from the guy, like, two of the guys, like Farva and the one guy, Steve Limey or whatever. I can't remember his name.
Oh.
But anyways, they're from the Broken Lizard group who did like Super Troopers. But they're the main guys, and they're firefighters, and there's the supporting cast. That's the word I wanted, the supporting cast. So the supporting cast of You is amazing. Anyways, the supporting cast of Tacoma FD is just as funny as like the main... the creators or the main people, like it is
sweet.
One that we are consistently laughing at, and if we aren't laughing, we still have a smile on our face because we love the characters. Like it is literally like just a perfect simple show, and I feel like these people hang out in real life because they're like so effortlessly funny, and you could just feel like their relationships are like genuine and real. Like it's very funny.
Nice,
very funny show. Right. So I'm excited to finish that.
What'd you watch it on? It's
on True TV. You can watch all 3 seasons so far on True TV. Or True TV on demand if you have that.
Yeah.
Tacoma FD. We forgot, like, we had recorded all these episodes, and we're like, oh yeah, I guess we should watch Tacoma, and boom, instant, instant funny.
Oh, because they're watching 5 episodes. That's all right.
It's just so funny. I really love that show, and anybody listening out there who's like Tacoma FD,
I'm pretty sure I've watched the actual the trailer or like some sort of preview for it. So I mean, 'cause I could picture the characters of like the 2 main characters.
Yeah.
As soon as you said who they were right away. Yeah. In like a fire, like a fireman suit, you know what I mean? So I could picture all of that. But
yeah, like Farva's character is nothing like Farva, which is funny.
Yeah.
But he's like the chief, and then the other guy from that Broken Lizard group, he plays the captain, and then everybody else are firefighters. But the chief, his daughter, has become a fire person. And she's like going through as like a probie and whatnot, and like living at the station with them and whatnot. And she hangs with the boys. Like she's so funny as well. Like everybody literally on their own makes you laugh, and then together makes you laugh. So like she like makes it a perfect cast just because she's just as funny as everybody else as well. So like it's awesome.
All right. Yeah. All right. You're selling it on me because I do like, Farva. So, I do.
Oh yeah.
I just think he's a funny guy. You know what I mean?
They have randomly they'll have other guys from the Broken Lizard gang like show up as different characters and whatnot. So it's pretty funny.
People have fires, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
I get it.
Well, like in everything it's real slapstick comedy. It's very, funny, like in the sense, like some things can be corny just because it's like, you're not going to spend $1 million to make something look cool, because it comes across very funny. So it's not like you needed to do anything else, but it'll be like answering a call, and they hop in the truck and they get to the person's house, and this person has like a little scratch and there's blood, and they're like, it said that you got hit by a truck, and they're like, he did, and it pans to like a little toy dumpster truck, like so just stuff like that. They had to go put out a fire at a dispensary, and like all of them get like super ripped and whatnot. So just stupid funny stuff. They did a quarantine episode, but I loved it so much because they didn't involve COVID at all. Like it was like they created like this whole other thing, like this monkey bite, and the monkey was sick, and it was very funny. So check it out, Tacoma FD.
All right, Tacoma FD. I'm in. You're selling me on it. So
FD.
I need another comedy.
I'm in.
Yeah.
The Boys finally released.
Yes, a trailer. I did not watch.
I didn't watch the trailer.
I just seen it today.
The only thing I saw was their episode release schedule, and it starts in June.
Nice.
And the first 2 episodes will be available like the first day that they're streaming. So I'm like the problem is in this society of 10 episode seasons. Is it's only 10 episodes. And these shows are so good, you just want so much more.
Can have like 12 to 15.
See?
Yeah, I get it though. You know what I mean? You got to do it. So.
Yeah, like I feel like a 12 to 15 is a great number.
I think that once again, listen.
Yeah. Listen.
You should do it. Yeah. That's okay.
So anyways, I think I've ended all my rants. I've circled all my circles.
Okay, all right. You got through everything you watched and nothing else?
Yeah, right. Like, we'll be talking about these 2 movies. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah.
I watched 30 other movies. No, we didn't. We didn't. I mean, I feel like we watched. Oh, we did. But it's nothing new. We had rewatched Encanto actually twice. The one day we're just like playing in the living room. We just put Encanto on in the background because like I love that soundtrack, man. And it's such a great movie. Phenomenal
soundtrack,
movie.
So funny.
Dude, if you're not listening to the music, you're not living, man. Like I'm looking for hey, actually any listeners or viewers watching this and listening, I'm looking for Interstellar soundtrack on vinyl. So if you can point me to the direction and not somewhere that's like I'm selling it for $100, I'm not doing that. But if you got tips, let me know of good records. I'm looking for Dance Gavin Dance records, and I'm looking for Interstellar. For sure, because I'm like, I put that soundtrack on like probably the most out of like any, you know,
like soundtrack.
Yeah, or you know, a really cool thing to Google every now and then is people like you ever walk through like maybe an airport or maybe a hotel lobby where like there's a piano, like a grand piano or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, there's like people that will just start playing the Interstellar main theme. In public, they'll just like get on a piano and start doing it, and it's so awesome because like people will always stop, and because like the song's incredible, and like if you can play it on piano, you are clearly great at piano because they involve so much, and it's such a beautiful song. But like everybody always like stands around and watches because you're like, if I was walking around and I heard that, I'd be like. I'd have to pick my jaw off the floor. Sorry for all the listeners. They'd be like, "What would you be like? What would you be like?"
Tell us right now.
I was picking my jaw off the floor. I was speechless. Yeah. I love it. And if you watch part 1 and part 2 of how Hans Zimmer produced some of that music with a giant organ, it was incredible. Anyways, soundtracks.
All right. I'll Google it. How about that?
Maybe you will. Maybe you won't.
I might not, but I might.
I listen on Spotify all the time. Oh man, you want to get in like a nice deep thinking mood. Oh, yeah. There's like it's so funny because like some of my favorite things are really short. Like there's a Wu-Tang Clan meets indie culture, I think is what it's called. It's one of my favorite summer albums from the Wu-Tang Clan, but there is like a 30-second beat and sound. No lyrics to it, but it's just like this amazing like beat and sound that it's just like so good. I'll have to look it up and I'll put it in the description or whatever, but it's so amazing. And then on the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind soundtrack, there's like this 15-20 second song type of thing that's just like so incredible. I could just listen to it on repeat. Also, Davy Jones is, and I think it's like the second Pirates of the Caribbean, or maybe it's the third. I can't remember. But whichever one Davy Jones shows up and they have to return his heart or whatever. There's like Davy Jones's song, but they use a gosh, when you wind them up and it's the little metal pegs hitting the oh gosh, I would love to tell you.
Honestly, I'm drawing a blank on what you're trying to tell me right now. It's something that spins with a metal
music box. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you wind up a music box and there's like the cylinder with the bumps on it and it hits the individual metal.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay, all right, so I'm sorry.
Davy Jones song music box from the Pirates of the Caribbean is also incredible to listen to. Also, The Used. You've ever heard of The Used?
Oh yeah.
So they had this DVD CD bonus combo thing that came out in between albums called Maybe Memories. And there's a song on there that Bert does on piano that's absolutely incredible. No lyrics or anything. It's called Sometimes I Just Go For It. And it's incredible. I'm just thinking like the thinking songs that I love to put on.
Yes. Yeah.
And then there's Max Richter, who like if you could just put on and you could put any Max Richter on you. And it's Max Richter. Yeah. When it's Max Richter on the radio. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right.
Let's get to the movies. All right, shut up, Kevin. Mike. He just
no, it's okay.
Just won't shut up about soundtracks.
I should never said anything. I'm sorry, God. I'm just kidding.
Actually, I mean, these two movies, Interstellar and Eternal Sunshine, though, those are phenomenal soundtracks. Anyways, yes.
You got it. So, which one would you like to talk about first?
I want to talk about the Unforgivable first because I was like pretty harsh on my judgment of that movie.
You were.
And
very harsh.
It was really funny. It was like a classic judging a book by its cover. I was like, scoff. I've seen this movie before. No, I have not. Yep. I have not actually. I was definitely blown away. Sandra Bullock was intense.
And super intense, and I thought that she did the part very well.
Oh, dude, incredibly well. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I was shocked. I was very shocked. I was like, I would recommend this movie. I thought I was like going to be super bored, and as the story played out and how things were revealed and whatnot, I actually enjoyed it even more.
Yes, so I think so. So I definitely agree with you. I think at some point, like at one point, I was like almost to the point where like, when's it gonna turn up to that extra edge to make this like the movie, right? You know what I mean? Like I just felt like it was missing right. It did good building, but then the building like plateaued, right? Like that was my best way I can explain it as like I'm trying to think about it. But then all of a sudden, it happened, and it was like. Yes, like it was, you know what I mean? Like it was actually, like I said, it was I liked it, man. I thought it was a decent film. I mean,
so I apparently didn't like give the trailer even enough shot because I was like, whoa, Viola Davis is in this, and then I was like, whoa, Vincent D'Onofrio is in this, and then I was like, whoa, John Bernthal is in this, like. Holy crap! This is a huge cast. I thought this was like Sandy B going out on her own, but Sandra's like, "Come on, other people."
Yeah, come with me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I also
don't get me wrong.
Speaking of Sandra Bullock, I just do want to bring this up. The Lost City looks hilarious with Channing Tatum and Brad Pitt. Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, Brad Pitt.
No,
watch the trailer.
I'll look it up.
It looks hilarious.
The Lost City. Okay.
It looks awesome.
I'm in.
Oh, and I think. Maybe oh man. What's I'm not going to say what movie he's made it from. But why I'm so sad that I go on these like brain farts.
But Daniel Radcliffe?
Thank you. I didn't want to say what he's like from because it's like everybody, he doesn't HP. Yeah. I'm not gonna say HP. I'm not even gonna utter that name because like he's so much more than that, You ever watch Swiss Army Man? Come on.
I did. Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Ooh, that would be a good poster. Ooh,
It
put
would.
that in my noggin. So yeah, that The Lost City looks very funny. Watch that trailer. But Sandra Bullock blew me away in this movie. I thought she was very authentic, and man, took no crap. She was a very hardened person. Like, I loved it. Like, when somebody gave her shit, dude, she pushed it right back. Like,
yeah,
she's like, I'm not gonna take that. Like, somebody rifling through her stuff, man. She's just like, nope, you're not doing that to me. And then
you're not doing that.
Somebody's trying to pull you out of the shower, and it's just like, you know, that girl like taps or whatever, and she goes like even more like like straight up like body checks her, man. I'm like,
yes, absolutely.
Well, I would not mess with her.
If you think about it, you know, like
20 years in prison, man.
It was 20 years.
Yeah.
So she was. I mean, so she had probably, because I don't know. The problem is, like, I don't think they really tell you, and maybe I could be wrong. I don't think they tell you how old she was when she actually when she went in.
Yeah, I almost feel like she might have been like maybe like 18, 20.
Yes, something.
The problem is, it's like I don't think that part was conveyed very well either. Like
no,
because yeah, I wouldn't be able to put an age on it. I have no idea. I was actually kind of like I don't even know how this all fits at one point, but then finally when it was like, you know, mom and dad, and I was like, oh, your sisters, got it.
Yes, understood.
Like that was the only part that I was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
But yeah, 20 years and whatnot.
So I mean, and that's what made me actually enjoy it. And I think the twist at the very end, like with everything that happened, and the big twist, makes me like it just. I don't know. I've always been a big like Family guy, right?
Yeah.
Just in general.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean. So it shows like that much more. You know what I mean. It just showed. I'm like, this. It wasn't. I'm not gonna say it's great by any means, but the twist of it, like I said, like when it happens, and it sets the movie to that point. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's my whole point. Like that's my whole thing with it. So I thought it was like I said, it was a good movie. It had me involved. I had its ups and downs, but you know, a lot of big movies like that are doing that too, though. You know what I mean? I mean, I definitely rate it higher. I mean, it makes me mad. I don't know if you're looking at the Rotten Tomatoes right now, but
no, what is it?
A 37%.
Get out, dude!
See, this is what I'm saying. But then other movies, the other movie we talked about already earlier today is getting a 60 and a 92 and stuff. You know what I mean? You're just like, what are you watching? Like, I don't understand.
What are you expecting from movies?
Like, exactly. I just don't get that.
That's insane.
So I was very upset about that when I read that.
Did you notice any familiar faces from any recent movies we've watched?
Hold up. See.
Dr. Oglethorpe.
Wait, who?
Rob Morgan. He is the parole officer in The Unforgivable, but he's also Dr. Oglethorpe in Don't Look Up.
He is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, as soon as I saw his face, and his voice, he has a very soothing voice. But as soon as I heard his voice and saw him, I was like, oh man, all right,
that's so crazy.
2021 movies.
Okay,
like
good
I said,
for him.
I'm saying I definitely enjoyed this movie. It took kind of like bits and pieces of other movies that have been made before. Combined different elements and then threw a little twist on it. Like I'm like that was great. And I'll tell you again,
they did a good job.
Sandra Bullock, man,
great work.
Which I have you ever watched the movie Gravity?
Was that Sandra Bullock in it?
And George Clooney?
Is that the one where she's in space? Yes. She's in space.
Another anxiety-inducing movie.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. You gotta love Sandra Bullock. She's a phenomenal actor, and
she's great.
Yeah, she's great, and yeah.
Oh, what was the movie to where she got the football player?
The Blind Side.
Yes, Blind Side. That was a good movie too. Yeah. I did enjoy that one.
I remember being a kid, and the movie The Net. Let's see, when did The Net? 1995.
Wow.
She was like this hacker and whatnot, and the internet's going through modems and whatnot. And, well, that one's a 40%, but I thought that one was a good one. Plus speed, come on. But it was crazy too because obviously if you've seen the trailer, like she's a cop killer, and it's interesting because like at the very beginning the guy's like, it's never going to be easy. You're going to be a cop killer everywhere you go.
Yeah.
And it's like you kind of have this experience where you're starting to get close to someone and you're like, well, you're something you should know about me.
Yep.
And like if something like that gets out, man, there's consequences. Like it's crazy. Like you try not to judge or whatever.
Yeah.
But you have these people that are like personally insulted by the gravity of the situation. And,
yeah, absolutely, definitely. So the only thing I gotta say, I just gotta say one thing that bothered me about this movie was actually the two brothers in the movie.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They were more like Lifetime actors, and it wasn't really great.
Well, especially the not the one that's married, like the other one that wasn't married, that was what I mean. But
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So that one I thought was just not good. The other one was okay, and I think that's why what happens is probably part of the reason why what happens is why he was that character chosen, because there's a little bit more involved in certain parts,
Yeah.
I just think that he was that step above the other one. I just think that the other guys, and neither of them were great by any means, but
yeah, it's like that single-sided character, no depth.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a motivator, and there's no way. Like, it really was like your real basic story. Luckily, there's like other things going on that like you don't really have to pay too much attention to that.
What I think the nice part about it, though, really until like towards like the ending of it, that's not even a big part of anything that's going on either. You know what I mean? So like to me that's a big thing. You know what I mean? That it's really not it's a part that's happening, but they don't like. They fill in with a lot of other things first.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? So then, so you really didn't see a bunch, but it was still a background story the entire time. You know what I mean? So, like I said, and I thought, I don't know. Like you said, I'd recommend the movie, but that's my final opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean, like John Bernthal, like that dude's just a phenomenal actor.
Absolutely.
Vincent D'Onofrio, excellent. Viola Davis, excellent. And so, like, having these people as, like, the supporting cast and like it was, I don't know, like, doesn't deserve a 37%. Like,
no, absolutely.
Mind
so
blowing.
Think about the scene where in the meeting. Okay, so I'm trying to make it as vague as
possible.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Talk about certain things, right?
Yeah.
But that scene in the meeting, you know what I mean. So I've been trying to go into ever since we had this disagreement about the prisoners scene, the hammer scene. Okay. It's not a disagreement by any means, because did I tell you that I rewatched that too? I actually watched it on YouTube.
Prisoners? Oh, just the hammer scene.
No, just the hammer scene, right? Because I just wanted to like really dive back into it and really try to get the feels for it. You know what I mean? And actually, it was a nice clip. Anyways, it was like 10 minutes, so like it did a lot of the pre-stuff too. So it got you warmed up to what's actually happening, and then into it, right? So like,
you got to look at like Terrence Howard's character's face and Paul Dano's face, like.
When I watched it, I just wasn't. I think I was just like I told you, I was in a different set of mind. So I wasn't involved in it like I was. So I watched it again, and it was definitely a very dramatic, crazy scene. Okay, so I've been trying to go into scenes like that a little bit more to like get involved in like seeing other things, like getting all the reactions instead of just listening. I'm watching at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not saying I didn't do that before, but like watching for more details.
Yeah, you're more accepting. You're more in tune with the performance. Yeah,
exactly.
Rather than
so I'm trying
expectations
to get like, on that. Yeah, exactly. So with that, in that scene, dude, I thought they did phenomenal. I really thought that scene was really good, and it was a full cast of it too. So the two people, then Sandra Bullock did her part. Then the lawyer did his part. You know what I mean? I just am like,
I agree. Like, especially because like at a certain point, you're like, nah, you shouldn't have done that, and you're like, nah.
So that's why it got me involved, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, what the fuck? are you doing? Yeah. So you know what I mean. But anyways.
Yeah, that's a win, man. I thought I'm glad I decided to still give it a shot, and yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
So that was a good one.
Maybe these people on Rotten Tomatoes don't actually watch the movie. Maybe they just sit there and they're like, nah.
Yeah, I only watched 45 minutes of the movie, and it's terrible.
There are some movies that I have shut off.
Well, I get it.
Boondock Saints 2.
Yeah.
10 minutes, maybe. Maybe.
That's maybe. Yeah,
so awful. All right. So, yeah, that's a movie that you should go out, or not go out because it's not on Netflix, but go, watch it. I thought it was great.
So.
Now, here's where I get a little tripped up. This next movie that we watched, The Matrix Resurrections, gets a 64% on Rotten Tomato.
Thank you. It makes me want to throw my phone through the window.
So, this movie kind of made me feel like Toy Story 4, where I didn't hate it, but I didn't really understand why it was necessary to start like a whole nother thing. Like, a trilogy used to mean something, a beginning, middle, and an end, right? Like,
yes.
Why are we doing this? So,
yes,
there like the way it starts off, I was very intrigued because I'm like, whoa, it's really cool. It's almost like we're watching the first movie, but then I realized like that Trinity's different. I'm like, something's not right about this, and then like it kind of goes into like it's all like this simulation. But then, so. I don't know if I even care about ruining this movie because I think I'm just still confused because I still don't understand why it was necessary. If you can run everything and you basically had Neo on autopilot in this simulation, like, do they just need their brain power? Was that it? Was that all it was? Like, why did you need to save them from that big like crash at the end of the third one and where they're dead?
Exactly.
Why did you need to bring them back to life? Like, I just don't understand the purpose of this movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't understand the purpose but then what they said to it, what their answer was to that, which this is how I think about it, is that they said that their two brain powers in general powered up enough of the power they needed to generate in this whole simulation. So their two brain, that's why when those two started to get together, it created this whole issue and problem because
I gotcha. Okay.
So essentially, I think that's what it was. So they were putting their two brain powers together in two separate things, and they were pulling enough power to just run the entire thing without just those two. It's really, and that's how I maybe, you know what I mean? That's where I went with it. But at the same time, though, I am 100% on your side. For what reason? Besides making another movie.
Like, they act, like, there was, I felt like there was a very big lacking of action.
Of Matrix action.
Yeah.
It was too much of a story this time. Too much.
The weird, like, Neil Patrick Harris's character, how he could, like, slow everything super slow, but then, like, they did, like, this weird, like, jittery thing with him. But they didn't do it all the time. Like, it almost felt like I don't know. Like, it felt like a big mystery to me, like, why this movie was made at all.
Thank you. That's funny. That's exactly what I said. It just doesn't make sense. My cousin was even like, it's just a repetitive movie.
It is, especially because they repeat a lot of other other movies. Like,
you just took 1 and 3, and you put them together.
Resurrections. Hey, we have new actors. We want to be in this. And I like the Morpheus character, and I like the idea of like what they did with it because obviously 100%. Morpheus would have had to have died at this point in time. So like it makes sense. And then like they have like this alternate AI type of Morpheus because they extracted him out of the I was like, I like that. I like the machines and the humans like actually working together, and they built like the how creative the first place was called Zion and now this place is called Ion. Like, whoa, you guys are super creative on this, and and then flying around at the end, I'm like, was this some weird Disney fairy tale love story? Like, this is weird, man.
Yeah, I actually hated the ending of it too. I thought it was
I'm gonna be honest. I think I hated the ending too. I feel like I don't want to say I hated the movie just because I like the Matrix and I like the idea of it all, and I do like the action. But what the hell, man? Where was the action?
Well, exactly. So, but I think that's why, in all honesty, I'm not going to say I hate the movie, but I did not like the movie. I did not like it. I can't say I hate it because, like you said, I like the whole idea of the Matrix and the whole spectrum and that whole thing of it. Yeah. I love that. But I think I'm just taking my past love and creating that into why I love the Matrix. Why I like the Matrix
I'm clearly blinded. And so are other people. 64%.
That's insane.
That kind of blows my mind. I don't really understand that.
There was just no explanation. I just think that like you're expected to know a lot of these things, expected to know a lot of this stuff. So like there was just some weird parts in it too. I mean, don't be wrong. I actually laughed in the one part where they asked Neo if he can fly.
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, right? That's not gonna work.
That's not gonna
work. There were definitely some funnier moments and
exactly.
whatnot. But
so like I laughed a couple times in it, but at the same time, it's still just this awkward like I don't know, man. I don't know. I just really did not like it. If I was going to give it a percentage, it'd be like a 37.
Yeah, let's reverse the scores here.
For sure.
The
and I'd agree with it too.
And
that's the funny part. I would say.
I would definitely agree with swapping scores.
I would not
be
so upset. Yeah.
I didn't really even understand like. I mean, like I guess I do understand, but I just didn't see the point or the purpose, like Agent Smith being like a different person because like he was just put into the simulation with a different look because they did the OSD or the ISD or whatever the hell they were talking about. The same thing they did with Neo when they changed his look. It's like, this is how you look to yourself, but this is how you look to others, and it's just like, okay. But if it's a simulation, why would it matter? Like nobody should know who he is because you're running the simulation. Wipe everybody. Like it's just I don't know.
Yeah, just weird.
I would like, the Wachowskis, Lana Wachowski, to tell me what the point of this freaking movie was. And the cast, I didn't really think was like phenomenal. Like I mean, like or not the cast, but like the acting. Like there was a lot of acting that I was just kind of like this. Okay, you remember thought this was supposed to be a knock it out of the park. This is going to be a big bash, a huge action. No, sorry.
Fail. No, you're good. Okay, so do you remember the part where they were fighting in the
dojo
building where they're punching through walls and stuff like that, right? So like where the people come down and they jump down. I forget the names of the.
Oh yeah, the ones that the outlaws or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. But when he's fighting the main character, that's Anderson, right? I'm pretty sure.
The main
where he fights the main bad guy type of thing, the whole thing at the very beginning. So when he's fighting there, that guy's acting was terrible. I'm telling you, it did not flow whatsoever in a couple of these parts. Like there's a couple parts where so maybe his acting wasn't as bad, but the cuts of it and how they put it together.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
It bothered me
because I love Neil Patrick Harris, and I don't even think that was a great performance. No offense, I liked him as the therapist, but when we started getting into this whole thing, it was like,
yeah. Well, I just think it became the whole storyline became stupid, really stupid at that time.
So repetitive, so.
They just really, like you said, they literally just made the movies over again for 4. Like that's what they did,
and then they keep putting the movie on in the background of certain scenes, and I'm like, this. Like, did you make this during COVID or something like that?
Yes.
Well, I mean, they obviously did, but like,
well, yeah.
Should you not have?
Exactly. Should this have waited? Maybe it would have been better. So okay. So you know what's funny too.
Yeah.
So when I went to go watch this movie, I pulled it up because it's actually on HBO.
Yeah,
Okay.
HBO Max streaming free
yep.
for you. Do not
Yep.
pay for
So
this one.
No. So I go, which is good. But anyways, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But so I go click on it, and then the first one that comes up, it said The Matrix, and I could have swore it said Resurrection at the very end of it, right? But I think it was the next one down, and it was like stating that the movie's different. So when I clicked on the first one, it actually went to the beginning scene of obviously the first Matrix. So then I'm like, so they're watching. I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird. So then when I go back, I watch like the first like 10 minutes of the movie, and I'm like, this is the first movie. You know what I mean? I click back on it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what the heck happened? So I go to click on it. You know how, like, so then the beginning of the fourth one starts?
Yeah.
I just watched it. You know what I mean? I just watched the real version of it. So I'm like, what is going on? What movie am I watching here? I was actually getting really upset with HBO, but actually, it's just that's the movie. So that's how bad it was. It's literally the same scene.
Yeah.
That they did in the same exact thing. It's just weird.
There's even, like, a scene that I felt like they were kind of self-aware about. The general of Ion, when she's like, oh, you're no longer a captain and you can no longer fly a ship. And then, like, you know that they were going to fly the ship. You know they were going to take, like, I feel like they were even self-aware, like, this story is awful. Like, awful. What are we doing here?
Exactly, and why does what does she turn so, like, that way for anyways? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I would think, like, you would still want to, like, isn't Endgame still to take down, to unplug everyone? Like, I thought that was, like, the whole point, but...
But she obviously now is in a different state because they're working together. Instead of working with, you know what I mean? It just felt... Her character felt weird, too. I mean, and I liked her in the first... I liked those in her in The Matrix. Actually, I liked those.
You know what this movie made me want to do?
What?
Just watch the first one.
Yeah.
That's what this movie should have said. It should have been like Matrix Resurrections, and then literally replays the first movie. You know, like, oh, so sweet! I'd even pay for this in theater. This is great. This is a great movie. Have you seen The Matrix? Yeah, but have you seen The Matrix Resurrections? You know, it's
there's actually 4. So
yeah. What, Matrix 4? Right. So that one, like, if you loved the trilogy, I mean, go ahead and watch it.
But
don't expect anything from it. You know.
Don't go into The Matrix thinking you're getting The Matrix.
Yeah, this isn't.
That's the thing.
I agree.
So you're getting a way different version of The Matrix, with The Matrix trickled in, right? Yep. So this one's more of a drama story with The Matrix trickled. So
like the way they use the red pill, the blue pill. I'm like, come on! It's
seriously,
like anything that was fun about the series was just overused and abused. Just awful.
Yeah.
So, anyways, let us know what your thoughts are.
Yes, please.
Actually, let us know your thoughts on The Unforgivable with Sandra Bullock, and let us know what you thought of The Matrix Resurrections. And yeah. What are we watching next?
I'm not sure. I really have you thought of anything or anything like that? Me neither. So I would say is we'll talk about it. We'll think about some movies that are coming out. Because I know there was one new movie coming out, but I can't remember if it was this week or next week. So we'll have to talk about look into it and go from there. I do think there's a new movie that came out.
Yeah, you know, one that I do want to watch is The Eternals. That's streaming on Disney Plus now. So.
Okay, sweet. So The Eternals, and then also another one that I was thinking about. I want to see about this new movie, but Eternals, and then also one that I have not watched yet, which I really want to, is Dune.
Dune?
Talked about it before. Dune.
Oh, Dune! Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
We skipped over. Yeah, we skipped over that movie. So I think that's another one that we can at least see what's out there, and then that could be a movie that we could at least trickle in. It maybe, right? That's something might be playing. Okay, sweet.
Okay.
So we'll look into it, but those are the movies that I was seeing. So.
All right, cool. Let's do that. Let's do.
Do you want? Let's wait to announce it just in case. I tell you, there's a new movie that we talked about before that I just cannot remember the name of it right now.
Well, also No Way Home. If we get to watch that too.
Well, that's 100%.
Yeah.
Please. I really want to watch it. Yeah. So, but anyways, So all right, cool.
Alright. Well, cool. You got anything else for us?
That's it, man. That's all I got.
Alright. Well, we'll let these fine people go. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for watching.
Have a wonderful week.
Have a great week.